Hey kawan, welcome to EDCReady. Today I'm gonna do a different kind of review. This is a review of my father's EDC. So a little bit of history. I recently uploaded a video talking about how I got into EDC and how I discovered the world of EDC. So do check it out. That video is in my channel. I believe I put it in the description box. I'm not so sure. So how I got into the world of EDC. When I was about 8 years old, I was like scrummaging through like drawers around my house, trying to look for treasures or whatever have you that kids look for these days. I found some interesting stuff. I found some jewelry for my mom. I found some very inappropriate stuff which I will not mention. But one of the things I found was this guy in a little leather sheath. In one of my dad's drawers, and then I asked him, "What's this?" And then he said, "Oh, this is my Swiss Army knife." And that's when I was first introduced to the concept of an everyday carry, the concept of bringing or carrying tools around in your everyday life to make your life more efficient, to make your life better, more prepared, and everything else that comes in between. And then this started this whole journey that led to 20 years later. I have way more knives than I need. I'm part of an amazing community here in Malaysia called EDC Malaysia. I'm also part of the EDC Cooperative, which is another huge EDC community and group all around the world. And it all started here. So I'm going to do a quick review of everything I have here from my dad. So my dad doesn't know about the concept of everyday carry, but when he was studying in the States, he carried this guy, and then he carried this guy. I'm pretty sure he bought both these in America, and they were really cheap back then. What we have here is the Victorinox Huntsman. This is the old one. They do have the new Huntsman, and then the only difference is the new Huntsmans have a little hook that comes out of here. It's to like grab or hook up something. I'm not sure what it's for. You can use it to fix zippers or whatnot, but it's just one long extended hook that comes out like that. Other than that, I don't really see a difference in pretty much anything else. I believe it's the same steel, it's the same make, same build quality, and so on and so forth. So let's get into this before I get into the flashlight. We have here a classic Victorinox Red or Swiss Army knife. We have here some tweezers. Very useful tweezers. I've used this before in my life. I'm sure my dad used this when he was in the States. I don't know what for. We have some toothpicks. My dad has very jagged teeth, so I'm pretty sure he would have used this quite a bit. We have here a cork puller opener type thing. I don't know what you call it, but a corkscrew. There we go. A corkscrew. We have here an awl. Okay, and then the awl is sharpened on one side, and then the other side is blunt. It also has a little hole here that you can like put a not a ribbon, a string through or whatever, in case you need to do any kind of, need to push something through something else and then grab a string on the other side. And awl is great. And awl is, in my opinion, one of the most underrated tools you can have on a multi-tool. Great for punching holes through things, through boxes, through leather, through belts, or whatever. I've used this guy before. Now then that's it on this side. Moving on to this side, we have here the first of two blades. So it comes with two blades right here. We have a short blade, and this guy is still relatively sharp. This is the blade that I used sparingly. Okay, I've used this knife quite a lot back in my college days here in Malaysia. I used it for a lot of school events. I've used it for college events, putting together events. So this guy has actually seen a lot of usage in my experience. So this guy here, pretty tough, can still slice paper. The long one is what I've used a lot more. Cardboard, foam, cellophane tape. You can see a lot of cellophane tape residue, envelopes, you name it. In an EDC situation, I've used this to cut this. I've used this to cut that. It is no longer sharp anymore. And this thing about Victorinox steel, it just says here Victorinox stainless steel, something like that. Don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so Victorinox stainless steel, they are relatively, well, in my experience, they are very stainless. They're very corrosion resistant. However, they are not very, they don't have very high edge retention. So you want to make sure that you want to sharpen this bad boy if you ever use it. And then what makes it really nice is that it has a nice little sharpening choil there. And it's a very surprisingly deep sharpening choil. So you can keep sharpening this guy. Next up, we do have a saw. If I can find it, there we go. We do have a saw. This saw I've never used before. It's also a non-locking saw, so I'm not really brave enough to use it, because when you saw something, there's always a tendency when you pull up that it's gonna bind in whatever it's sawing, and then it's gonna come down at your finger. Does it have a half stop? No, it does not even have a half stop. so it's gonna come down on you, and I've always been afraid to use that saw. Now you have scissors back here. Scissors also very well used. These are actually some really nice scissors. Now I've used some Leatherman scissors. Leatherman scissors are okay, but they're nothing compared to Victorinox scissors. Victorinox makes amazing scissors in their multi-tools. It's spring loaded, and then the spring that they use is actually very strong as well. It actually kicks back quite a lot. So unlike Leatherman scissors that, based on my experience, they don't really spring back very far, this guy can spring back all the way. And couple that with the fact that it's actually a nice size. I've actually used this guy for quite a lot of stuff. This is actually, in my opinion, the best tool on this multi-tool, which is the scissors right here. Now moving back a little bit, also no half stop by the way. We have here your tiny little flathead screwdriver right there, and then we have a little bottle opener right, a can opener right there. And on this side we have a slightly bigger flathead that you can also use to do any kind of scraping that you need to. And then you have a little wire stripper right here, never used that. And then a bottle cap opener or bottle cap lifter right here, which I've used. Now this guy does have a half stop, see, half stop. But all the other tools don't have a half stop. No half stop here. Does this have a half stop? Nope, no half stop here. And no half stop here as well. The only tool with a half stop. So what do you think about this guy? Well, this guy's been around for a really long time. My dad's now 56. Yeah, he's now 56, so he's had this for 25 years. Or this guy has been around for 25 years. It's definitely really gritty. There's a lot of grit. Okay, it's nowhere near as smooth as it used to be like 10 years ago, but it's probably because I've been using a lot in the last 10 years when I was in college, or 10 years ago when I was in college. But you know, at the end of the day, some of these tools are still really usable. Like these scissors, my god, are these usable scissors. The blade, once you sharpen it back up, is going to be fine. And then if you really want, or if I really wanted to, I can just find a way to open this up and then like re-oil, clean everything back up, put it back together, and it's going to work just as well as it did all those years ago. I've not broken any one of the tools, I've not lost any one of the tools, which is a great sign for me. Okay, next up we have here a Mini Maglite. See there, Mini Maglite. Stainless steel construction. You got good knurling here, good knurling here. How you switch this on is that you twist and then it switches on. Okay, it doesn't have any other feature than on and off. It uses 2 AA batteries. Yeah, it uses 2 AA batteries. And then I don't know how many lumens is the output. I don't know how many I don't know the beam distance. I don't know anything other than that the light's relatively warm and then it's really spotty, and then that's about it. And then this kind of just brings back to that whole idea of EDC. Is like, it's the tools that you carry to make your life a little bit better, to make your life a little bit easier. In a completely sensible world, my dad survived, I think, 4 years in America on just these 2 tools. Now a multi-tool here, and then a little Maglite right here. And so it really makes me wonder, why am I carrying why do I have this guy, Spyderco Pair 3 lightweight? Why do I have all these, the pens, the flashlights, much better flashlight, and then I have here a Leatherman PS4 squirt. He didn't even have Leatherman, he doesn't need pliers. Why do I carry a plier around? And yeah, at the end of the day, this is kind of just all he needed to survive in America. And if I were really honest with you, if I really wanted to live more of a minimalist life, this is pretty much what I would carry. So maybe a smaller flashlight, but this is going to be just enough for me on a day-to-day basis. Or if I wanted some pliers, just maybe get a Leatherman Signal or Leatherman Wingman, or at most a Leatherman Wave because of the bit kit. Okay guys, so that is what my dad used to carry. There was a little review of what he had, and thanks, and as always, stay ready.